Podcast City Network.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Fixed Edge, episode 25, quarter century edition.
Nick Anderson?
Nick Anderson.
Is he 25?
Yeah, he was 25. Yeah, that's
Nick
a good
Anderson,
one.
dude.
That's a good one. I like that. So yeah, definitely make sure to check us out on all of our social media outlets at Fixed Edge on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go on there, smash those like, follow, and subscribe buttons. That way you don't miss out on the latest and greatest from Fixed Edge. Definitely make sure to go check that out. But we got some good games we're going to be talking about today. You ready?
I'm always ready. I was born ready.
Oh, man, he was born ready. So let's jump right in. We got the Philadelphia Phillies at the Arizona Diamondbacks for our first game. Phillies favored -170 over under at 9.5. How you feeling about this line? This is our soon-to-happen game, 6 minutes.
So, I mean, Phillies are a much better team than the D-backs. I believe it's a bullpen game for the Phillies. They're starting Suarez, I think it is. He's low ERA, 1.0 or 1 point something, but he's only a couple innings, so he'll be in, he'll be out. I don't know what their bullpen is going to look like today. I forget who went and finished going yesterday. And then for the Diamondbacks, yeah, Castellano, whose ERA isn't too bad himself, is like 2. Money's on the Phillies. The line movement hasn't really gone so much, but everybody's on the Phillies. I mean, better team. D-backs haven't been that good this year. I think they've already beat them once in this series. I think this is a 3-game. I think they beat them once. I'm a dog guy. I'm going to go against the public. I'm going to take the D-backs. Going to put them in a system. I'm going to stay with some of that strong money that's holding that line where it's at. Everybody's betting the Phillies, or the everyday tickets betting the Phillies, and if it was supposed to do something, they would have let that line soar. They've kind of left it right where it's at. So I'm going to take that plus money with the D-backs here in about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, definitely going to be good. And the Phillies, they haven't been looking bad, but like you said, they did drop that first game in this 3-game series. So I guess it would be bad to ride the Diamondbacks and see what happens, right?
Got to ride the D-backs.
Got to ride them D-backs, man. I think that's a good call. So definitely make sure to go on that, put that into your system, and lock it up. It's going to be some good stuff, man.
In a system, they sure.
In a system.
Because if they just go put if they got 5,000 and they go just drop 2,500, they might not be that happy in the morning. But if they put it in the system, if they're not happy today, it'd be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it'd be the weekend. It's just clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
We don't gamble. We take the gambling out of the equation, and it makes it so much easier to sleep at night.
Absolutely.
You don't make as much, but you make it steadily over the time.
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to deal with a slow grind, and that's where you end up getting into trouble because it's like, oh, let me hit real quick here, let me hit real quick there, and guess what ends up happening? You end up losing.
In the long run, no matter what, you can go take your 5 and double it tonight to 10 and then to 20, and then one night give it all back. Yeah, of course, with no system.
Exactly. But one thing you need to go check out is all the great content platforms you can find Fixed Edge on, including Player FM, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcast. And, of course, you can always check out Fixed Edge on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net/FixedEdge. Definitely make sure to check that out. But now we're going to talk about our second game that we're going to be covering, the New England Patriots at the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams' second preseason game. The Patriots picking up the win against the Redskins. Eagles losing to the Steelers. A lot that can go on here. Obviously, this is just a preseason game, but there's a lot of storylines that are involved in this preseason game.
Yeah, you're sliding this in because you're an Eagles fan.
I maybe.
I didn't even know about this. Yeah,
but it figures to be a good game. As you see, Cam Newton and Mac Jones are still in a quarterback battle for the starting position, while Jalen Hurts on the other side is going to figure to be the starter for the Eagles. Wide receiver Devontae Smith will also be back in the lineup and playing in this game. But tight end Hunter Henry is still listed as questionable for the Patriots. So a lot of little storylines going into this one, but the line is at 1.5 for the Patriots, over and under 38.5. I know it's hard to call these preseason games. Obviously, this is more about trying out talent, seeing where people are at, making sure you got good depth. So,
yeah, in the analytical side, definitely. In the Vegas side, the sharp side, the betting side, I can always give you that information. People that follow it know how to use it and know what to do with it. The other people don't. The everyday guy is not winning. If they were winning, Vegas's lights wouldn't be so bright, you know?
That's right.
So they wouldn't take the action. They wouldn't let you put them a limited amount on there if they were all winning. So you got to look at it from that lens. Is the everyday better is not winning. So today on this game for tomorrow, the everyday better is on the Patriots. But more money is on the Eagles, which the more money is usually the sharp money. And so if you play the system and you follow sharp money and you put it in the system, you're going to cash eventually. So I'm riding with you tomorrow. Eagles.
Yeah, baby. Fly, Eagles, fly. That's what
Eagles
I'm talking
money
about.
line. It gets tough in preseason because, sometimes the third and fourth quarter are surprises. Sometimes the coaches decide to leave. Like Mac Jones will play the whole game on one side, and the other side you'll be into their fourth string. Sometimes those kind of things happen. That if that happens, who knows? We don't know who's shifting gears at what time. But the way the line is sitting, not from an analytical side, but from Vegas's side, like to give Vegas's twist on it. You got to follow the sharp money and the smart money, and that's on the Eagles tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I have to agree. Not even just as a fan, but I feel like the Eagles have a better team. And they're also going to be having Joe Flacco playing, who's the backup quarterback. I think he's going to be playing predominantly the entire second half. At least that's what's scheduled right now. Who knows what will actually happen? But it's part of that mind game. I guess teams play with each other.
Of course, and that's why if you don't have the real inside, you got to follow the money. Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong following big money. They didn't get big money for a reason.
That is true.
So if all the whales stay together, and we just kind of work it like that.
Absolutely. That's definitely good stuff. Just like all the great stuff you can find over at the Podcast City Network shop. All you have to do is go over to podcastcity.net/shop and check out all the great stuff going on over there, because whether it's a neck gaiter to protect you from COVID-19, a mug for your morning coffee, or a t-shirt just to look cool, they got you covered. Get the latest apparel and gear for your favorite podcast and Podcast City Network by visiting the website and checking out the lineup. So it's going to be a lot of great stuff, man.
I'm still waiting on my hat. I know it's almost here.
It's almost here. Just got to wait for it. Got to be patient.
That's kind of like the website. Hat, website. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, me. But we definitely thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. But the biggest thing you always got to make sure to do is be smart, have a system. That way you're investing and not gambling. And I think that is very, very important with everything you do in this type of field, honestly. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I don't know how stock traders do it. Not in their world. I own crypto, own a couple stocks, but
Right.
I'm not a daily trader when it comes to that. Crypto, you can ride the wave. But anything you do investing wise, crypto, sports, got to have some kind of system. If you're just doing it, just to do it, like it doesn't matter. You can go to Vegas and leave Vegas with 20, 30, 50,000. Hot rolling 777s, but at the end of the day, eventually the run runs out. Right? So 15 blacks in a row, and you're cashing, then comes 15 reds in a row. And it might not happen like that, but it might happen as you keep moving it around. And it will happen. So the key is to have a system, guys.
Well, we just got hit in the DMs with a question, and they want Timothy asking, what is sharp money?
So sharp money is not your average Joe. So your average Joe is everybody that goes to Vegas when you see the line and there's, 100 people, 98 of them are public money. So there's two guys in there out of 100, maybe less. I mean, I don't know the portion of it's low. But let's just say 3%, 5% of the money is sharp money. And so those people come over and they either hit the game in the beginning. So when the game goes off, before they give the line out to even a guy like myself, I don't even there's a group of guys that look at it and they adjust it. So they give a room of 12 guys, let's say, and they're all betting it. So Timothy, the sharp money is what you want to follow. When you put it in a system, I mean that's the key of it all. But sharp money, that's the money you want to follow. That's the money that's actually making a living doing this. Where the public obviously are the everyday better. So those are percentages we have, when it's 80 or 100 or 90, 95 public money and there's 10% sharp money, but yet that line is dropping to us. That's what we're going all day, because it's like, why is the line, everybody's betting the Patriots, and I'm just saying it's not necessarily happening there, but everybody's betting, say, the Patriots, but yet the line is now goes from Patriots favored to Eagles favored. Like, why are the Eagles favored? So you kind of watch the sharp money and see why the line is moving. And if it's moving because of the sharp money or steam, which we'll talk later, but that comes at the end. Those are your bettors that are like 5 minutes to the game's about to go at football, 12:55. dialing, and taking the last line. You got the guy that takes the first line, you got to take the last guy. Everything in is regular money. Sharp money is first and last. You either make your money first or last. That's the sharp money. So Timothy, I hope that answers your question. If you got any more, you can DM us. I don't see you on here, so assuming you're new. So if you DM us, give you more information about the system, and can kind of get you set up for free, no charge. Website. Long story short, someone took money and didn't finish the second time around. So talk to him about just taking the first one with the information, bringing that to you guys so you have some kind of information, and then bringing you webinars and stuff as we build the app. I think we talked about that in our meeting yesterday with the company. So we're looking to bring an app for everything. In the meanwhile, we'll get a minor website with informational stuff. The app will have the tournaments and all that, and it's going to take a little longer than projected, just like everything else in life, unfortunately. Just never goes the right way.
But it could end up being the better, and that's the thing that we're going to be looking at, because through an app we think is going to be a lot more useful for the people on the go, honestly, especially if you're trying to keep up with everything. Everything moves fast these days, especially in sports.
Quick.
At the end of the day, app seems better than website.
And you're going to be able to make free money, free tournaments without having to put nothing in there. So nothing like that out there that I know of, that they're just giving free money out. But we want to give back to this community. We want to get everybody into some kind of system. It doesn't have to be the FixedEdge one. Obviously, that's what we have here. But if you're just in some kind of system, if you join in, you're like, hey, listen, I'm in Alderum 4.2 System X. This is what I'm using. Great, right? It doesn't have to be ours. But if we could just get the whole community using systems and then sharing systems. I share my system over here. Someone else. There's more systems than just FixedEdge. I'm not the only guy with systems.
No, of course.
But most people aren't telling you to play systems. They're telling you to gamble, because they hope as much money. If you can go on a run and you make, 5,000, they hope to get $2,000. And then if I give you all one plays and I give Timothy all the other plays, one of you guys is going to be happy in the morning. And so that's who I hope to dig in your pocket. So don't be fooled when these guys go and they buy leads. You go out there, I got numbers and emails of people that gamble. I could simply call them up and call two people up, give one Patriots and one the Eagles. And guess what? Friday morning, one of them is happy with me, right? Then I'm trying to dig in their pockets. This happens so much, so stay away from that. Stay away from someone asking you how much you can get on the game. You better hope they ask you what kind of bankroll you're working with, and they start telling you percentages that are 1, 2, 3, 5 max. If they're telling you anything different than that, I promise you it's not going to end pretty.
Definitely won't. So definitely make sure to keep an eye out. And again, have a system. Do something right. Don't just fall into the trap.
Everybody does, man,
Unfortunately, but there is a way out.
I hope we can get to enough people,
Absolutely. And that's why we do this show. So definitely make sure to check us out, as well as Podcast City Network, because FixedEdge is a proud member of Podcast City Network and it's 20 plus independent podcast members across all genres of podcasting. You can find PCN on all major social media platforms, including Facebook at facebook.com/Podcast City Network, on Twitter and Instagram at Podcast City Net, on YouTube by searching Podcast City Network, and on the website podcastcity.net. Be creative, be independent, be yourself. Podcast City Network.
But I always am myself. I always am myself.
Yeah, and that's always a good way to be.
I don't know. I never really do this whole camera thing. You kind of got me here. I don't.
Oh, you're doing great, man. You look great on there. Look at that. See that?
I don't know. I just sit here and answer the questions you tell me, and then I turn around and go watch the games.
Yeah, absolutely. With my Red Sox not playing all that well right now. But hey, things happen.
More runs.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But we thank you guys so much for watching Fixed Edge. Make sure to join us next week for episode 26, the episode graphic that will be dropping across social media. You'll end up seeing that and be able to get the time and day for that show. But until then, I'm Chris.
That's Money.
And you guys just watched Fixed Edge. Have a great night.
Podcast City Network.